right. So today we're going deep on something that's been causing a lot of buzz, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. And we've got a ton of stuff to dig into here. Articles, reports, legal filings. You guys have been sending it all in. It seems like DOGE has really caught people's attention.
It has, and for good reason. I mean, this agency is really shaking things up.
Yeah, I mean, it was established, what, early 2025, right?
Yeah.
By President Trump and Elon Musk at the helm.
That's right.
So
With the duo.
quite the duo indeed. And their stated mission: streamlining regulations, cutting spending, shrinking the federal workforce. All in the name of saving taxpayer dollars.
Sounds great in theory.
Right.
Right. But how's it playing out in reality?
Exactly. That's what we're here to find out.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that DOGE did was they completely wiped out all of the federal diversity programs.
Yeah, those DEI initiatives.
Gone.
Yeah, they just scrapped them.
From what I'm reading here, they argue that these programs were actually kind of bloated and ineffective.
Well, and that they were actually hurting productivity.
Right.
And costing taxpayers a fortune.
So DOGE is saying, look, we're not just, swinging a wrecking ball here. There's a method to this.
Right. They're claiming big cost savings.
All right.
And increased productivity.
Right. But, I mean, you can imagine this has been pretty controversial.
Oh, absolutely. There are people who say this was long overdue, that the government has just gotten way too big and inefficient. And then there are others who are really concerned about what this means for, fairness and equality in the workplace.
Right. I mean, because these programs were put in place for a reason.
Exactly.
So
it's a tough one.
it is a tough one. And, it's not just the diversity programs. I mean, they're terminating leases on federal office buildings.
Yeah.
They're forcing agencies to downsize. They're requiring all these agencies to report back on their progress in shrinking the government.
It's like they're micromanaging every single aspect of the federal government.
It's a very top-down approach.
Absolutely. And it's driven by executive orders from President Trump.
Right? I mean, that was his whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Shrink the government, drain the swamp.
Exactly. And DOGE is his tool to do it.
Yeah. And it's definitely ruffling some feathers. We've got, what, like 25 lawsuits already challenging DOGE's authority?
At least.
Yeah. Some people are saying they're violating existing laws. They're ignoring Congress.
That they're operating like a shadow government.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is.
Okay, so let's talk about maybe the most unsettling part of this whole thing.
Okay.
Data access.
Yeah.
DOGE has been granted access to a truly staggering amount of sensitive information.
Yeah. The IRS, taxpayer data, student loan records, healthcare records. I mean, you name it, they've got it.
And that's what really kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like, what are the implications of this? What could go wrong here?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, how is this data going to be used?
Right.
What safeguards are in place to prevent abuse?
And that's what's really worrying a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these sources are highlighting the lack of transparency around DOGE.
Exactly. We don't really know what they're doing with all this data.
Right. Are they using algorithms to make decisions? Are they sharing this data with private companies? We just don't know.
And they keep talking about AI and automation, but the specifics are very murky.
It's like a black box.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine like an algorithm deciding whether or not you get audited based on your social media posts?
It sounds crazy.
It sounds crazy, but is it really that far-fetched?
I mean, in this day and age,
I don't know.
it's not impossible.
Okay, so we've talked about, the potential for overreach, the concerns about data privacy. But there's another aspect to this whole thing that I think we need to address.
Yeah.
The human cost.
Absolutely.
DOGE has been laying off thousands of federal employees.
Mass layoffs across multiple agencies.
And these are, dedicated people who have devoted their careers to public service.
And now they're suddenly out of a job.
Yeah, I mean, they have families, they have mortgages, they have lives, and now it's all been upended.
Right. And we have to ask, is efficiency worth this kind of human cost?
Exactly. So here we are with this massive experiment in government reform.
Yeah.
Driven by a desire for efficiency.
Yeah.
But it's raising all these really tough questions about transparency, accountability, individual rights.
And ultimately, it comes down to this. How do we balance the need for an efficient government with the need to protect individual rights and democratic processes?
Because those two things aren't always compatible.
Exactly.
And that's what makes this whole DOGE situation so fascinating and so unsettling.
It's a real dilemma.
It is. So for everyone listening out there, I want you to really think about this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the trade-offs that are being made here?
Are we willing to sacrifice some of our privacy and security in the name of a leaner government?
It's a question that we all need to grapple with.
Absolutely, because the decisions that are being made today are going to have a profound impact on our lives for years to come.
Today.
So stay informed, stay engaged.
And keep those cards and letters coming.
We'll be back next week with another deep dive.
See ya.